Let's take a look at some of the market stats for real estate in Alpharetta. We'll take a look at the days on market. We'll also take a look at the amount of new listings, the amount of homes sold in the last few months, and then we're also going to see the average sold price for homes in Alpharetta for the last few months. Starting off with days on market, this is the amount of days that a home is on the market before the seller finds a buyer. So in Alpharetta in February, the average amount of days that a home was on the market before finding a buyer was 5 days. In March, it was 6 days. In April, 5 days, and then last month in May, back to 6 days. So we're kind of seeing that back and forth right around 5 to 6 days. This has been super common all throughout the spring in Alpharetta. Very commonly, homes will come on the market like the end of the day, Thursday, beginning of the day, Friday, and then they kind of get as much people as possible coming to look at the home in person and online during open houses, even like in the weekends, and then ideally go under contract like on Monday. This is very much still the strategy for many listings in Alpharetta. Get all of the people looking at the home, create buzz and create demand, and then ideally go under contract as quickly as possible. The reason they list like on a Thursday or Friday is because they don't want to get too many days on market. You know, like when you see a home and it's been on the market for a long time, you start to think, maybe there's something wrong with that home. I know it's crazy to say that, but like maybe decades ago, we thought, 30 days or 60 days was a long time. Not anymore. Now, like 1 week in Alpharetta is a long time for a listing. So that's why they wait all the way until the beginning of the weekend to try to list the home so that they can minimize the amount of days on market. If you're thinking about moving to Alpharetta or you just have any questions about buying a home in Alpharetta, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. That's my phone number. That's my email address at the bottom. I'm the one who answers those phone calls and those emails. I'd be happy to help with your moving needs to Alpharetta. Thank you so much to everybody who has reached out. I'm always happy to help. So the next thing we're going to look at is the amount of homes that are coming on the market each month in Alpharetta. In February, there were 117 new homes for sale. And then in March, there was 121 new homes. In April, 185 new homes. And then in May, 172 new homes. So you can see we kind of had that steady increase. Well, a little bit steady. In the last couple months, we had that big jump, but then February and March, it was kind of steady. And then April and May, big jump up to 180, 172. So big jump there. I would expect to see more homes coming on the market in June and July because the school year starts kind of early here in Metro Atlanta, like the very beginning of August. Most of the people who are moving tend to be settled by the middle or end of July. So right around there is where we see home numbers kind of drop off, less home sales, less listings. A lot of sellers are kind of behind a little bit. So maybe we see new homes coming on the market July, August, maybe even September, but definitely by the end of September, there will be a lot less homes for sale because the rush has ended in real estate. What's super interesting though is that this is a big jump up from last year. In February of last year, there were only 77 new homes for sale. In March of last year, 111 new homes for sale. In April, 136, and in May, 137. So a very big jump up from last year. While it's still very much a seller's market in Alpharetta, 5 or 6 days on market is still a very short amount of time. We are slowly creeping towards a buyer's market in many parts of Metro Atlanta, including Alpharetta. But Alpharetta is one of the slowest to change. Alpharetta is the city that has the highest demand for purchasing homes. This is where everybody wants to live. So I would expect that change from a seller's market to a buyer's market to happen the slowest in Alpharetta. It's still going to be a strong strong seller's market in Alpharetta for a while. Okay, next let's take a look at the amount of homes that are being sold in Alpharetta. In February, there were 66 homes sold, and then in March, there were 89 homes sold. In April, 91 homes sold, and in May, 112 homes sold. So as we would imagine, a steady increase in the amount of homes sold as the spring is getting busier and busier. But what's super interesting there is that it's far less homes being sold than there are homes coming on the market. So even though, in May, there was 172 new homes for sale, there was only 112 homes sold. That leaves 60 homes still not sold, theoretically. If we look at it that way, there's still 60 homes not sold in May, still available in Alpharetta. So we're seeing that there are more homes coming on the market than there are homes being sold. Again, this kind of points to the fact that we are headed towards a buyer's market, but very slowly in Alpharetta. It's not going to be a buyer's market in Alpharetta anytime soon. We're just going in that direction. And then let's take a look at the average home price here in this city. In February, the average sold price was $704,000. In March, it was $835,000. In April, came down a little bit to $790,000, and in May shot back up to $850,000. These numbers fluctuate quite a bit because of this small number of homes, the small sample size. So we see a bit more fluctuation. But the fact is that home prices are slowly increasing over the long term in Alpharetta. I would expect that to be the case again until about September, October, maybe November. We'd see that yearly stabilizing of the home prices in Alpharetta, maybe a bit of a decrease during the wintertime and during the holidays. But for now, during the spring, the peak season for real estate in any part of Metro Atlanta, we're definitely seeing increasing sold prices in Alpharetta. And when it comes to interest rates, this is definitely one of the biggest factors that affects whether or not we have a lot of buyers in the market or less buyers in the market. So right now, according to one of my favorite websites for checking interest rates, which is Mortgage News Daily, rates are bouncing right around 7 to 7.25. So this is about what we've been seeing for a while. It did get pretty high was October of last year. It got up to 7.8, 7.9. It shot up there. And then in December, it went way down to about 6.7. But ever since then, we've been bouncing right around 7%, maybe high sixes, low sevens for a few months now. And this is what we're probably going to see for a long time. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is what I would expect to see for at least a few years, right around 7%. High sixes, low sevens. And so something to think about. I mean, if you're trying to wait for the right time to refinance, that might not be as easy as some people are saying. I think the big question on everybody's mind is why is Alpharetta so slow to become that buyer's market, while everywhere in the rest of the country we're starting to see much more days on market. 30 days in some parts of the country has become the norm for average days on market for a listing. How is it that Alpharetta is still at 5 or 6 days? How is it that the average home prices are still in the 800s in Alpharetta? And the reason is because this is the most desirable suburb in all of Metro Atlanta. It is the most beautiful suburb. It is the most well-kept suburb. It's got the best schools, the lowest crime, the best community, a great downtown area in downtown Alpharetta. I mean, Alpharetta is like the complete package. There are so many great things about living there. And especially as we see more and more people move here from out of state, they're really looking for the areas that are the most modernized. They're the best schools, the cleanest areas. And so this is Alpharetta. And so that's why because there's so much demand for living in Alpharetta, that's why we're still seeing these super low days on market and these increasing home prices in Alpharetta. Now, keep in mind, this is not the same for all the parts of Metro Atlanta, especially like in the southern part of Metro Atlanta. Great cities like Fayetteville, Peachtree City, McDonough, Hampton, Stockbridge, these areas are seeing much higher days on market, 14 days, 21 days, maybe even 35 days on market for the average listing. But because there's more demand for homes on the north side, you're going to see that it's a bit more still of a seller's market on the north side. A few great homes that I have found currently for sale in Alpharetta. We have 1150 Pennington View Lane in Alpharetta. It's a 5-bed, 4-bath home, 2,800 square feet, built in 2022. They're asking $840,000. Also, 835 Vintner Court in Alpharetta is a 6-bed, 5-bath, 4,100 square feet, and it was built in 2017. They're asking $847,000. And then also 830 Central Park Overlook in Alpharetta is a 4-bed, 5-bath home, 3,400 square feet, built in 2017, and they're also asking $840,000. Definitely some great options currently for sale in the city of Alpharetta. And again, it is one of the best cities, but there are some downsides to living in Alpharetta. Not everything about this city is amazing, and some things I would say are red flags. If you want to know more about the pros and the cons of living in Alpharetta, check out this video. I'll see you there.